This story takes place when I was 18 years old. It was the middle of October, and me and my friend Jake were walking home from our other friend Scott's house. We were walking by the old East Hill Cemetery when Jake suggested we go inside and check it out. I looked at the wrought iron fence surrounding the entire cemetery. There were probably about 500 gravestones behind those bars. I had an uneasy feeling in my stomach. "Maybe not tonight," I said. "Oh, come on, we'll be quick, I promise." For some reason, I decided to do it. We looked around, making sure no one could see us climbing over the fence. I didn't think anyone would be able to see us, given that it was so dark, but hey, I didn't want to spend my Halloween in a jail cell. Jake and I started walking through the cemetery, and we looked at a bunch of the gravestones. I noticed that most of the gravestones had dates on them that began and ended in the 1800s. I got that uneasy feeling again, as if we were being followed. I told Jake that I was ready to leave, and that I was getting creeped out. Jake agreed that it was pretty creepy, but we continued to make our way across the cemetery anyway. A moment later, I saw something move out of the corner of my eye. I swear I saw someone's head disappear behind a tree in the woods at the back of the cemetery. I told Jake what I had seen, and he turned his head in that direction. Just then, we saw an old man emerge from the trees. He slowly lifted one of his arms at us, pointing. He then began to shout that we weren't allowed to be there. Jake and I looked at each other, and then turned around to take off back towards the gate. But as we turned, we saw another person, an old woman blocking our path out. She was wearing a red cloak, and her expression was one of pure evil. She ran at us. I moved to the right, and Jake moved to the left. I could feel her hand brush up against my arm as I started running. We both took off full speed and got over the fence in a matter of seconds. When we were over the gate, I turned around once, only to see that the man and woman had both disappeared. We both kept running until we ran out of breath. Once we stopped, Jake told me that the cemetery we had been in was a known meeting place for a satanic cult, and they were even alleged to sacrifice humans in their rituals. I'm just glad he and I made it out alive.